So yeah, I definitely do think that it is a good idea to be, I wouldn't say divided, but I'd say, be able to express your opinions, especially if they don't agree, if they're not coinciding with someone else's opinions and thoughts. It is good to talk about it and get some knowledge. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I think to a certain extent, it's good to be a little bit divided.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, we
Hmm.
wish Trump the best. Not really, but I don't care. But
Not really, but it's
I don't.
entertaining, and
Right,
it's
sort of
entertainment.
sort of a joke, but we'll see.
Hmm.
Now let's go on to our next topic. This happened in Ohio, I believe,
Columbus.
with the Chipotle beatdown. These people,
Cheesegate.
right, Cheesegate. These people got pissed off because they didn't get enough cheese on their Chipotle meal.
After they got their orders, they wanted more cheese, and I guess the worker refused to give them more cheese, and they went ham. They went crazy, throwing chairs. They grabbed the hat off of one of the Chipotle workers. Then other employees came into her defense, and then it was like a brawl and chairs being thrown. It was two suspects, and one of the suspects was like, shoot him, and the guy tried to shoot the employees, but the gun like misfired or whatever. And so when that happened, they then took off, but before they left, they took somebody's cell phone, like a customer's cell phone, and then took off. And they're still like, the Columbus, Ohio news are like asking for the public's help to identify these guys. But my thing is, it come on, like, we're all customers, right? We've all been places where, we're not happy with either the quantity or the taste or something about the service, but you don't do shit like that, and also too, I was a little bit confused with this story too, because I've been to Chipotle, many different Chipotle locations, and they serve you the food right in front of you. So I don't understand how they waited until after they got their food to bitch about not having enough cheese.
It's just crazy that people can take it to that degree, all because they didn't get something that they wanted. I mean, to fire a gun, to steal a phone, which is the least of their concerns, stealing a
Yeah,
phone, but to take it to that level only because you didn't get your damn cheese.
enough cheese. They
Like,
wanted more cheese, more cheese, more cheese, more cheese. But and also too, not only that though, it's kind of like, as a customer, right? We're going somewhere, we pay money, so we want our shit to be right. So I can understand you being like, hold up, I want some more cheese on my bowl or my burrito, whatever it was they ordered. We don't know what they ordered, but whatever it is, I can understand them getting upset if they're like, oh no, like we already gave you enough or whatever. But you don't go take it to that extent. Like, again, I'm all about my fucking freedom. I am not gonna jeopardize my fucking freedom over no fucking cheese, over bad service that I got from somewhere.
right.
I'ma just be like, I'm not fucking with this place no more. I'm not gonna come here no more. I may bitch at you, I may cuss you out, you know what I'm saying? I may express my dissatisfaction, but I'm not gonna assault anybody over no fucking cheese or unhappy meal.
But that's a result of them dealing with something prior to the bullshit of, going to a restaurant and not getting what you want. So they probably had previous mental health issues. You have to have a mental health issue or an anger problem, which I don't know if they classify that as a mental health
I think
issue,
it'll be,
to
yeah,
just shoot
anger.
at somebody in the store with cameras because they didn't give you enough of the damn ingredients that you wanted.
Hmm.
It is the dumbest shit ever, and they need to catch these people.
Yeah.
And I think, what did they say on the story? We have
But
that. We
see,
can read it.
also, that's not the only time. Like, this is just one of many stories that we actually hear about.
Right.
Like, there was, remember the one girl that was upset because they didn't have no chicken nuggets at McDonald's, and then she beat the shit out of the drive-through worker and like tried to go in through the window because I guess she didn't believe that there were no more nuggets. There's a lot of like videos on YouTube and stories where people go crazy. You know what I mean? Like I get we all have bad days. We all have days where we're like, yo, they better not try me today because there's gonna be some shit. But again, I am not risking my freedom. Like people don't you guys gotta think, man, one fucking bad decision can affect the rest of your life. Like y'all gotta think. You could be pissed the fuck off, cuss them out, you express your dissatisfaction, but don't fucking try to you really trying to shoot some fucking body because you ain't getting no cheese, enough cheese? Like, come on. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, people are crazy. And if anybody knows who these idiots are, it says right here, anyone with information is asked to call the Central Ohio Crime Stoppers at 614-461-TIPS. 614-461-TIPS. That's TIPS.
If there's a reward, you know they're gonna be
Yeah, it
called.
has to be a significant
You
an
know they're
award
gonna be
for
called.
a significant reward for catching these dumbasses.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they probably live in a low income area, and people who need the money know who these people are, and they're gonna track them down and give their information to the proper authorities, to the police department. And these people need to get off the streets.
They do
They
need
probably
to be called.
they probably have already have done some bad shit to
That's
people.
what I was just gonna say. The fact that they're like they have a gun, and the fact that the
Mhm.
other suspect was like, shoot him, shoot him,
Shoot 'em, shoot 'em.
This is not the first time. Like I'm pretty sure they done already shot people. They probably already robbed people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like they need to be caught because this is some bullshit. They can't keep doing shit like this. And to everybody listening, like bro, we all have bad days, but don't fucking risk your freedom over bad customer service. Like it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it.
No, it's not worth it. I mean, but like I said, there's underlying issues with these clowns that try to kill an employee, and they didn't shoot him, right? They didn't get shot,
They didn't
but
get
they
shot.
misfired,
No,
right?
they misfired.
Okay.
And then instead, like they were just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna get out of here." But then on their way out, they noticed they saw the phone that they wanted, so they grabbed the phone from a customer that was in the Chipotle and then took off.
And it says that the suspects repeatedly went on to throw chairs, trash cans inside the restaurant, and we talked about them taking a cell phone, and then they left without the extra cheese apparently. So they didn't even get cheese on whatever the fuck they were trying to get. But this is some crazy, crazy times that we're living in. And Florida, actually, they just passed a law that says you can now have a permit. I mean, you can have a gun without a permit.
Without a permit, oh God, Florida of
In
all
Florida,
states,
yeah.
really, bro.
I mean, I think not even in Texas we have that. Well, maybe we do. I think you can have a gun here without a permit. Yeah, we do. So in Texas, you can have a gun without a permit. But Texas is not known for being mentally fucked up like the state of Florida is. So
There's some fucked up people here.
yeah, but more in Florida.
Yeah,
And
Florida's
the
like
reason
the
why
capital of misjustice.
'cause it's a
Looney Tunes.
It's a melting pot for crazy people.
Yeah.
You got people from the East Coast moving over there, people from the South, maybe the Midwest, the North, so maybe even the West moving to Florida. So they have a bunch of psychopaths in Florida, and they're ready to use their gun at any given time. But I don't think gun laws prevent people from going crazy.
No,
It's
I
too
don't
many
think so
guns out
either.
here to begin with, so nothing's going to happen with that.
They're not. It's not just like we hear all the protests, especially like when they're shooting in schools, which obviously is not good. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I don't agree with that. Especially like they be targeting the kids, and they don't be having shit to do with whatever the fuck you got going on or you're upset about.
Right.
But every time something like that happens, there's always protests and people like, oh, we need stricter gun laws. No, you don't. Even if there are stricter gun laws, do you know how many people have fucking guns? What are they gonna do? Get the guns back? And there's no way for them to do that.
What I read today, there's 300 million people in this country, 300 million plus in the United States. There's 125 guns for each individual American. 125. So you would somehow, and that number is growing every single day. There's not a quota of how many guns has to be made or a limit to how many guns that can be made in one particular year. So that pace of people getting guns or whatever is going to grow. That ratio of guns to human beings are going to grow significantly. So you're going to have a situation where you're going to have 200, 300, maybe even 500 guns per one individual in the United States.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
right, so everybody is going to be have a gun, and they're going to be intimidated by um I don't know. They're just going to have a situation where you're going to have a bunch of people intimidated when they see people with guns, and they're not going to know exactly what to do. And I think it's going to freak some people out when they see you carrying your gun, that they're going to want to get a gun. So this can turn into the Wild West, but I think you got enough
Oh yeah.
responsible gun owners that they wouldn't go out here and commit a crime, a senseless crime. But to be fair, a lot of these shootings are from
People
people
who
who
don't have
legally
them.
have guns,
Mm.
who legally own them, who legally bought them maybe a month or a couple of days prior to the mass shooting. So I don't know, I don't know what you do about gun violence in America. It has to be a mental health thing, and I also think, I know we're doing it right now, but maybe you shouldn't continuously broadcast it so much, because I think that breeds the copycatism within people, that people want to say, "Oh, I was the greatest school shooter. Or I did this, or I did that. I was the mass shooter at a concert. I was a mass shooter at a political rally or something like that." And it's something to I don't know what's in the water in this country that continues to have people, perpetrating crimes like this and just wiping people out for no reason. And I hate to say it, but like we said, it's law-abiding citizens that are committing these crimes.
Yeah.
Most of them are not criminals.
I know.
Criminals usually kill the person that they're going to kill, and they get the
Exactly.
fuck out of Dodge. They
Exactly.
go away. They do not stand there and say, "Oh, let me shoot up everybody else."
Mm-hmm.
They get their intended target and they get out. And then you have some random people, even the random violence, the random gun violence where somebody robs somebody with a gun and shoots them or whatever. That's even isolated to that one individual that they
Exactly.
wanted to rob.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the mass shooters are typically people with no criminal record.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what's going on with that. It's
Mm-hmm.
scary.
It is
The only thing
scary.
you'd have to do is tell everybody in America to turn in their guns,
And that's
and
not
that's
gonna
not going to happen.
happen.
You have to go confiscate.
They maybe turn in one, but
Yeah,
leave the other
you got to
four.
confiscate hundreds of millions of guns, and
That's
that's
not
not
gonna
going to happen.
happen. Mm-mm. And
You
remember,
know, they already opened up the Pandora's box of firearms in this country.
and the government too, they're responsible for fucking bringing a lot of those weapons over here. Remember in the 80s? Wasn't it the CIA that was like supplying fucking guns, all the weapons and shit
Well,
to
they're responsible for bringing the drugs over here. We're
and
responsible for
guns.
no. Those, if you look at a lot of these guns that are found in Mexico
Hmm.
with these cartel members killing people in Mexico, they're you made in America stamps on them. So we're exporting the guns. We're not importing. We're exporting. But we're responsible for bringing the drugs into this country and then exporting the guns that other people were using in other countries to manufacture the drugs to bring into the United States. So we're doing shit to cause our own demise. Like I always say this, America will never be ended by a foreign power. We don't have to worry about that. We're going to ruin ourselves. We're going to let greed, ambition, and narcissism drive us into the ground. Because a lot of this is narcissistic behavior that we display. A lot of this is like just greed. And a lot of this is just people being self-absorbed and wanting to, only be concerned about their situation.
Yeah.
And a lot of that plays into the economic situation and gun manufacturers, all that. They don't give a shit. I mean, their job is to make guns. They're not going to stop, making money and having people, buy their product. They're selling a product. It happens to be a product that can wipe out a shitload of people at one time. But they're not going to, backtrack on that. And neither, I don't think they should. I mean, it has to be a better way to approach this. Like I said, the Pandora's box of guns being, uh, spread throughout the country, proliferated throughout the country. It's already open. There's nothing we can do to rein that in.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. We just got to play to people's heartstrings and say, hey, maybe you shouldn't go shoot up a school, shoot up a concert, or shoot up a political rally,
Yeah.
or do some crazy
How about
shit.
if you're upset and you're so upset that you want to kill someone because of whatever reason, Why not just kill that person? Why are you killing innocent people that have nothing to do with the reason you're feeling that way? Whoever wronged you, if you really are that upset about it and that mad about it and angry about it that you want to kill the motherfucker,
Or
then how
yeah,
about you just kill that motherfucker?
or just go get some help before you kill that person. I mean, go get some damn help. You
Yeah,
know, I
people don't do
understand,
that.
like, if it's gang violence or something like that, I get it. Like, if you're upset with that person because y'all have a war going on, they may have killed your friend and now they're trying to retaliate against you. That I
Mhm.
get that in the context of that.
Yeah.
But if a person that's innocent and you're pissed off at them, or you had uh, somebody cut you off on the highway and you decided to get that person that cut you off, no, don't do it.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
road rage,
yeah,
no.
don't do that. That's fucked up.
Cuss them
But
out. Give them the finger
yeah, but
like
I
normal
understand the
people.
criminals like the mafia. They used to go after their intended target and they
Right.
left people alone. That's why they were able to stay in business, if you will,
Mhm.
for so long, because they actually went after their intended targets
Yeah.
and didn't just go randomly shooting up people.
Mhm.
And obviously these mass shootings, that's exactly what they are.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll see what happens with this, and hopefully they catch these idiots at Chipotle for what they did.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to our next topic. This is the layoffs that are happening at Walmart and McDonald's.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's crazy what's going on. Now they're laying people off like left and right. I think we have a video I wanted to play
I
that.
can't say I'm surprised.
Right. I mean, we'll give our comments after this.
Okay.
Let's take a look at Walmart because reportedly the company is cutting positions as it invests more in automation. This is all according to Reuters. The retail giant scaling back on some of its staffing at a few e-commerce fulfillment centers, if I can get it out.
Come on, get
right
it
now,
out,
about
girl.
200 employees are going to be impacted, but Walmart will reportedly make similar changes at a number of centers across a couple of states here, ultimately affecting hundreds of more jobs. Now, Walmart says that it is working with its employees to find new positions within the company. So the retail giant is making some tough decisions here. We have seen a number of its competitors, including Amazon, axe thousands of jobs. It's been able to avoid layoffs of that size for now, but Josh, we certainly are seeing the retail landscape change. These companies need to make strategic decisions. A lot of that is investment in tech, investment in automation, and some jobs are being eliminated as a result.
And it's only a couple hundred jobs. You don't want to make a big deal about the automation note there, but it is interesting, right? To cut human jobs for automation. It reminded me yesterday, or of what NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang told us yesterday, with this rate hike environment, as companies try and cut back, one way to do that is computing. Of course, he's talking his own book a little bit there with AI, but it is interesting to think about that, right, Dave, and what AI and what automation could do to help jobs in that way. Again, only a couple hundred jobs, but still it looks like that might be what is being used here to some extent, automation.
Well, and on that note, I've just been surprised that Amazon hasn't had more targeted layoffs in the e-commerce section because that's where they exploded. They doubled their headcount in that 2-year period, and we've seen even the most recent layoffs were not anywhere near e-commerce, which served as a surprise. And I think those are, I hate to say it, I do think they're probably coming at some point this year, but also layoffs. Accenture laid off 19,000 today. Indeed laid off 2,200 or 15% of their workforce today. Glooming economic backdrop continues to appear.
We stopped talking about banks for a day, and then all of a sudden we're back on the layoff story, right? And it's still happening, though.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
it's still happening, though, and it's something we hadn't talked about, it seemed like, in a couple weeks, but it's back.
Okay. Looks like there's mass layoffs taking place throughout the country. So Indeed laid off a significant amount of people. Walmart is going to lay off a few hundred, so they say.
Walmart,
McDonald's is going to lay off people.
2,000 actually. So that video I think was from Monday, but then Tuesday, Walmart announced that they do plan a massive layoff of 2,000 people. They expect 65% to be serviced by automation by the end of 2026. So that's their goal. They feel like the move will reduce the need for lower paid roles, which means, and I can't, like I said, I can't be surprised over this because I don't know about you guys listening, but here in San Antonio, every Walmart we go to, they have all the self checkouts. They rarely have any actual cashier lines open. Um, So this is not surprising. Like we fucking work for Walmart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like walk in here, give us your money, and now check the shit out.
Yeah, check the shit out, scan the shit yourself, bag it up yourself. Like, we work for Walmart. And then also McDonald's, they're also planning to lay off a lot of people. I'm not surprised about that too, because remember a couple of the McDonald's that I've gone to, they have the kiosk now where
Right.
you don't even have to speak to the cashier. You literally go up to the machine and you place your order, you put your debit card in or cash, whatever method you're going to use. And then, you go to the cashier to get the food. So I'm not surprised by this. I think they're all doing this. They're all going to go to automated systems, computerized things, kiosks to eliminate from having to pay humans and eliminate having to pay health insurance. Walmart for a long, long time, they were refusing to give the employees 40 hours a week so they didn't have to pay them health insurance. So I'm not surprised at all by this, especially now with a lot of workers demanding more pay. Yeah, this is it is scary um to think about, like the future and how many people are going to be without jobs. But I can't say that I'm surprised because you can't go anywhere now without having all these self checkout lanes and kiosks and stuff like that. You know.
And you know what's crazy about it? That they actually use the workers to get rid of their own jobs. Because if you walk into a McDonald's and you try to go to the counter, they'll tell you, "Oh no, you have to order over there." So they're
Yeah.
instructing these teenage kids or these elderly people or people with these criminal records that can't get a job anywhere else. They're telling them, basically training them to get rid of their own job.
Mhm.
Hey, go over there to the
Mhm.
kiosk. This is how you do it. And the way they probably sold it to them is that, hey, look, you go over there and you train them. That's less work you have to do. And essentially, in reality, they're just giving away their own position because
Yeah.
that's your job, is to take their order. So if they don't use you to take the order and the kiosk is doing it, then why would they need you? So it's
Exactly.
kind of genius
The way
on their
they
part.
sold it.
And Walmart has always been a shitty company in terms of the way they pay people.
Yeah.
Now they have the customer doing the job, and we're all guilty of it. We do self checkout, so now you got the customer doing the job of the employee. It's genius, and now everybody's so used to it, and we're just conforming to what that is. We're not gonna go and complain and say, "Hey, I'm not going through a self checkout. I just walked in this damn store, shop for these damn groceries or items. I'm bringing it up to the cashier, and y'all telling me no, bypass the cashier and go do it yourself."
But
Back then, even 10 years ago, that would be unfathomable
yeah.
that you would have a situation where people in mass now are okay and they're compliant with doing this shit.
But also too with that, think about it. Walmart has like what 5,000 stores in the United States, and imagine all the people that are going to lose their job. You know what I mean? And then also to that, you have the home delivery where you don't even have to physically go into Walmart. You can place the order online and have them deliver the food to you.
Right.
That's also going to be going through an automated system. So they're not even going to need the employees in these warehouses or
Well, I think
in the
they
stores
need
to
them to pick the
package
order,
food.
though.
Oh, but that's the thing with the automated system and stuff. They're going to be having the AI robots and
Yeah.
shit that's going to be
I
doing
think
that.
I think they're far off from that, but I know Amazon does it. Amazon already has it, so they already constructed their warehouses to be able to do that. Walmart,
Mhm.
they would have to reconfigure the warehouse in the back of the store and all that. I mean, they're working on it. So, for
Yeah.
example, if you wanted some chocolate chip cookies and it's on aisle 7 and you ordered something online, they could be like, "Hey, program this into the robot. He's going to go to aisle 7, pick that up, put it in the shopping cart, take it to the back, and then it'll be able to bag it up."
Mhm.
But something bad is going to happen with that. You're going to put millions of people out of work. There's a lot of people that are not college educated. There's a lot of people that need these low level jobs in
Mhm.
order to provide for their families. Sometimes you'll have a household where you'll have 5 people working, and 3 out of that 5 they working at low level jobs, and they're using that money to pull together to pay their bills. and you put them out of work and they have no other recourse other than to ask for government assistance, but they probably don't qualify for it. So this is what I think is going to happen. I think the government is going to start paying people to basically stay home. I think they're going to institute free health care. They're going to implement.
Oh, I want free health care.
Yeah, me too. They're going to implement ways to just pay people so there's not a riot. Because what are you going to do when you got millions of people who are idle that cannot work because they don't have the jobs out there?
Robbing people.
Yeah, they're going to be robbing people. It's going to be unrest. It's going to be protests. January 6th is going to look like a joke. You thought that was something. Wait until you have millions of people, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Muslim, Christian, Jew, whatever. They're out here actually protesting together and coming against the government and saying, hey, we need jobs. Yeah. And just because you can do something doesn't mean it's a good idea to do it. Yeah. Just because you can go towards automation, that doesn't mean you should do it. Yeah. Because you got to look at the ramifications of trying to save $1. You got to look at the ramifications of disrupting society to the point where people don't have jobs to pay their bills and have the necessity. These people are barely making it anyway, on these shitty ass jobs.
Yeah,
Walmart, they pay
like
minimum
Walmart
wage and it's like
$7.25.
What, $7.25 an hour? Or maybe they raised it to like 15 or something?
I don't think they're at 15, but I think
Amazon is.
Some McDonald's are, because like when we're driving around, they have on the marquee, hiring up to $14 an hour, I think, here in San Antonio. But even with that, it's kind of like, people, I don't care what business it is, you need human beings. You know what I mean? You need human beings. You can't replace a human being with a robot.
Well, even if you can, you shouldn't. That's my whole point. Even though you can replace certain human beings, doesn't mean that's a good idea. It doesn't mean you should, because it can disrupt the financial ecosystem in this country, and we need people to actually say, hey, look, I have to buy this food at Walmart, right? And then when I buy this food at Walmart, that pays for somebody's job, and that person who has that job at Walmart takes that money and then pays their bills, and then the person they pay their bills to end up putting money back into the country or into the economy. So there's a sort of a cyclical thing that goes on, a circle of life type of thing, where we depend upon people to give us money, and then we pay whoever we pay, then they pay whoever they pay. That's just the way it works. And whoever accumulates more, obviously, is considered rich and smart because they have more money. That's the way it plays out. But when you eliminate a millions of people from the workforce based upon you wanting to save more money, it's not going to end well. And like we talked about Flint was a thriving community. They had General Motors, they had different manufacturers, and it wasn't just General Motors. It was the people that supplied the parts for General Motors. It was the people that went and bought the cars in a town, and all of these other things that went into that. And when they pulled General Motors out of Flint, the town was predicated on that economically. So when they pulled General Motors out, it plummeted, and now you have high crime, you have shitty water. Because think about this: back in the time when General Motors was thriving in Flint and most people were getting good paying jobs, it would never have been a water crisis. You would have killed off most of GM's workforce. They would have never done that. They would have done extended research to see what was the ramifications of us switching from the Detroit water supply to the fucking Flint River while we're waiting to get a cheaper, more effective way of bringing the water in through Lake Huron. I don't even think it was like effective. I just think they wanted to get more money. There was some kind of situations where they were trying to get more money.
Somebody sold that idea to them, like, oh, it'll save you guys what?
Yeah, it was
$20 million.
Yeah, something like that, where they're gonna pocket that money. Somebody was gonna get paid more. They're not doing it for the citizens. They don't give a fuck about the citizens. But that's what happens when you have economic depravity in a society, and it's gonna get bad. I mean, the fact that they're laying people off left and right, and now you got people being more entrepreneurial, but that's not gonna work in the long run. How many people are doing gig economy jobs like Lyft and Uber, Grubhub, all these other different jobs now? That's where the economy is going, and it's crazy that's taking place at such a rapid speed. So my thing is, we love capitalism because you can act like, we're doing a podcast, and monetizing a podcast. You're making money off that. We love it. There's no really restrictions on it, and we love that. But it also has its drawback. But that's when the government has to step in and say, look, we can't have y'all just laying all these people off because you're trying to get, the AI technology up to the point where, these robots can do the things that humans once did. They even having trucks drive for themselves. So what are you going to eliminate truck drivers? You're going to eliminate truck drivers? A lot of people depend on that for their living.
And then the self-driving cars,
Right? Which they might have to eliminate. They might have to have automated or AI trucks because a lot of people are not wanting to be truck drivers anymore. So there is a shortage in this country for truck drivers. So I can see how the government would step in and say, well, let's fund this because we can't have a country that has a depleted workforce when it comes to truckers, because that's how we get a lot of our goods and services through truck drivers.
Have a shortage
No,
of
no,
truck
no.
drivers.
We do. There's a shortage of truck drivers in this country. And my thing is, the way you do that is to people that come out of prison that are having a hard time getting a job, give them a job in truck driving. The government should pay for them to get training to be a truck driver. That would eliminate the need for them to try to put out all this advertising and entice people to be truck drivers. It would actually say, hey, they can be productive members of society, and they make good money. If you're delivering fuel, you're delivering any type of hazmat material. Right now, you can make anywhere from $25 to $30 an hour delivering fuel, or delivering some type of hazmat material. So you can make money truck driving. There's a lot of, and it can be local where you're at home every night. It doesn't have to be necessarily over the road. It can be regional. So once you get those
You hear
people,
that, folks? Y'all looking for jobs?
right? Why don't you give those people the opportunity to get those jobs, and that would drive down crime. I think we also need to bring back trades within the school system.
Yes.
You need to teach people the
yes,
newest
yes,
forms
yes,
of
yes.
technology. Teach them coding, teach them how to, do things that are going to get them ready for the next chapter in our economic system, and not just say, go to college, spend a lot of money on a 4-year degree,
And still not be
that
able to
you're-
get a job
right? And
in
it's
that field.
it's a degree that you probably never going to use, a degree that you probably regret that you went and got. We need to do that because I think that'll be a lot better than just, go to college, get a degree and sit on your ass with that degree and do nothing. But there's opportunities.
And be in debt. Just
Exactly.
be in debt,
Massive debt that you can't get out of. So there's opportunity in the economy, but the government has to retrain people and spend tax. These are tax. There's no such thing as government money. These are taxpayer dollars. Use the taxpayer dollars to implement programs to get people back on their feet. If not, you're gonna have riots. Crime is already out of control. And to be fair, some crime is perpetrated by people that are just lazy. Some people just do not want to work. There's opportunities to get out here and make money. They just want it the easy way because they might be influenced by rap music, might be influenced by influencer that are showing that they got the planes, they got the cars.
Rap music because
Well, I'm gonna blame it.
Rappers
I'm
don't
gonna blame it.
No, rappers
it's
they don't
partly to
tell
blame.
you to go rob people. They don't
Yes,
tell
they
you
do.
to stick people up.
Yes, they do.
No, they
Yes,
don't.
Babe, they do. What are you talking?
The rappers now.
Yes, the rappers now brag about what they call flocking. Flocking is like when you go attack people and you rob them. You follow them to their homes. Like especially in California, flocking is done to the Asian community. They follow them home because Asian.
They
the
don't trust banks.
Yeah, they don't really
They
trust
always got
banks.
cash in their house.
Yeah, so they keep money in their homes. So they
We
go.
didn't say that.
They go out there and do that. So you have a situation where you got people, not wanting to go out there and earn an honest dollar. And in today's world, we talked about layoffs, but in today's world, it's the easiest time to really make money. There's so many entrepreneurial things that you can do legitimately to make money.
Yeah.
And that same spirit that you use to do like your criminal shit, you can take that work ethic, that entrepreneurial type thing, mindset, because that's basically what, even though it's criminal, but drug dealing is basically like people are being entrepreneurs, but it's having a deleterious effect on society. Now you just take that same spirit and put that towards something legitimate, you can make good money. But
Legally too.
yeah, some people just don't want to work and make money. Like I don't know. It's just crime is going to get more rampant when people don't have work and they're forced to do it. And then you got the people who can get a job but choose not to because they want the quick money, they want the bling, they want the fancy cars. It's just a disgusting way to make your money, by the way. But that's where we're headed to.
Yeah. It is sad. It definitely is sad, and it is unfortunate. And I hope that they don't replace all these workers with robots and automated systems, because it will be ugly to see and witness and have to live in. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So, okay.
All right, guys, that's actually going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. And we want to hear your feedback, guys, comments. We want to hear any topics you want us to hear about.
To talk about.
Any, yeah, to talk about. I'm sorry, what did I say?
To hear about.
Oh,
Unless
yeah.
y'all got a podcast, we'll hear that too.
You
But
can drop that in the link. We'll listen to it too and give you feedback.
exactly.
But yeah, definitely, hit us up and comment. Let us know what you think. Any topics you want us to talk about. Anything you disagreed with us that we talked about, or stuff that, you agreed with. Just anything. Let us hear. Let us know what you think.
And
yeah.
also, not only on YouTube, but you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're going to submit a poll about the Trump indictment, or about the what should we put a poll on? What do you think about the layoffs or something like that? We'll put a poll up and have you
Yeah.
guys respond to the poll and give us y'all feedback on any topics that we talked about. But we
Mhm.
want to thank the subscribers. We're still building our subscriber base.
Yeah.
So we want to thank the listeners,
you
the
all for
subscribers,
listening.
to the viewers, and from everywhere. There's people all over the world listening. So we
Mhm.
want to thank everybody and make sure that they keep tuning in every week, and we'll keep putting out content. And that's it.
Yeah.
I guess we're done until next week. We'll
Next
see you.
week.
We'll see you guys, or you guys will hear from us next week. And just thank you guys for following us. And have a
Yeah.
good week.
We'll talk to y'all next week.
Adios.
Peace.
Bye.